So I guess we'll welcome everyone and start the swearing in process. So it's kind of different. So I'm going to have my husband. We have a formality of how we're supposed to do this. Ted, if you want to walk up, I guess, to get me sworn in officially.
Okay, please repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I, Connie Bozen,
I, Connie Bozen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
in the city of Des Moines,
in
Iowa,
the city of Des Moines, Iowa,
as now or hereafter
as now or hereafter
required.
required by law. Thank you. Thank you, Ted. Do you want me here or someplace else? I can do whatever I want, huh? If it's in the Constitution or the... Okay, so the next one up is Carl Bob. If you want to step forward, and I believe his wife Susan will be offering the oath.
Raise your right. I, Carl Voss,
I, Carl Voss,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
Constitution
the Constitution of the United States
Constitution.
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
that
that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties
office
the office of the at-large council member in the city of Des Moines, Iowa, as now or hereafter
required.
required by law. Thank you.
I, Linda Westergaard, do solemnly swear
That I will support
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of Ward 2 Council Member in the city of Des Moines, Iowa, as now or hereafter, as required by law. Thank you. Woo, let's get a picture. Thank you.
The next will be Joe Gatto, and I don't know if we have room for it. No, he's taking up half this side here with his family.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joe Gatto,
I, Joe Gatto,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the
discharge all the duties
of the office of Ward 4 Council Member
of the office of Ward 4 Council Member
in the city of Des Moines, Iowa,
in the city of Des Moines, Iowa,
as now or hereafter
as now and hereafter
required by law.
required by law. Here you can get our picture taken.
Oh, there's a microphone right there.
We actually have a bit of time before our actual meeting starts at 5 o'clock, but I have a few comments that I would like to make as the mayor. Wait till Chris. I just want to say it's an absolute honor to be here tonight as the new mayor of this great city. It is a historic swearing in, as I am the first woman to have taken the mayor's oath of office for Des Moines. I hope this moment serves as an example for the young girls and women who aspire to hold the executive office. Everything can be possible. You just have to dream big. This city's greatest strength is our ability to work together in good times and bad. Our council, staff, residents, and other stakeholders have collectively solved issues to make Des Moines a fantastic place to live, work, and play. Collaboration and coming together builds a brighter future for us and for the future generations of this city. A strong tenure as mayor is dictated by the first 100 days in office, and I was privileged to be accepted as one of the 27 new mayors to participate in the Bloomberg Center for Cities and Harvard University's program for new mayors. This initiative has provided me with an understanding of how to structure my first 100 days in office and has provided me with 3 Harvard Kennedy students in the back who are going to fix the city in 2 weeks. And I am incredibly grateful for this opportunity. As I look to the future, I will pull out a few items and issues in front of my mayorship. The first is economic development. Shortly after being elected, I voiced my support for 2 additional economic development staff, one who is being hired now. We're up against a surplus of open office space, most located in the downtown core. My plan is not to see these buildings empty at the end of my tenure. Instead, I hope they become an excellent place for homes, places of entertainment, or future businesses that will provide jobs for our residents. Economic development is inherently tied to affordable quality housing. The city has embarked on ambitious initiatives to improve our housing stock, keep residents in their homes, and build new housing accessible to most. I will see that these programs continue and expand to provide our residents with plenty of options to live happily and healthily. We've all been through difficult times in the past few years, and during this time, we've seen an increase in instances of mental illness amongst our population, as well as an increase in calls to public safety. We must reimagine our public safety to be more responsive to the needs of the residents. As mayor, I will work to increase staffing for our crisis and cares teams because not all calls need just an officer. And we will have in place also a community advisory board. When I think of the future, I think of our children. I am incredibly proud of what we've accomplished as an at-large council member to secure early childhood funding for the American Rescue Plan Act funds. This funding has gone to improve preschool and early literacy programs throughout our wonderful libraries and schools. We've been able to open up 6 additional classrooms across the city that will keep on going on. We must support our kids if we want Des Moines that is strong and vibrant for years to come. I will continue to identify ways the city can support our youth. We adults need to wrap our arms around our youth to ensure that they have the support that they need. These changes will not come solely from my input. I am working with staff to launch a series of listening posts throughout the city, reaching directly into communities so our decisions will be informed by our residents. In closing, I have set my goals for my time as mayor, and I hope you join me in this journey. I want to thank my family and all of you for the support and the encouragement. My time in this position will surely be exciting and trying, but I am proud to be your new mayor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will take a little break because there might be pictures people want to take. Not that all the family wants to sit through a whole meeting, but enjoy the time. And again, thank you all for being here and showing your support for this great city. They're getting there now. We're, as soon as we locate all of our, yes, we have one coming. I'd like to call the January 8th, 2024 meeting to order. Could you please take the roll?
Boson,
Here.
Voss. Here. Coleman. Here. Westergaard. Here. Mandelbaum. Here. Gatto.
Here.
We have a quorum.
The next item on the agenda is Roman numeral I-1, approving naming the building at 1200 Locust Street as the T.M. Franklin County City Administration Building and waiving the City Council naming policy.
Move approval. Second. Oh, I beat you.
There's a motion and a second. Please vote.
Oh, jeez.
6 yes.
Motion carries.
Good job.
And again, thank you, Mayor County, for the 20 years of service that you gave to this community as mayor. So thank you. Roman numeral number 2, amending the procedural rules of the City Council. And I just wanted to go over briefly a couple of those things. I believe we've heard from out in forums and even at this council chamber. So we will be going forward. We will be having ability to speak on consent items, and that will be happening at the next meeting. You will sign up as you do for the non-agenda items, and there will be 15 minutes before and up to 3 minutes each, so that would be 5, or unless you don't speak as long, then we can get more. The other is that we are going to go to the non-agenda items. Speaking will be for 3 minutes, up to an hour. And the other change, those are the biggest changes I think that we've made on it. And so I just wanted to let people know that's what we're voting on, that we have heard, and we're extending some of the times and making a greater opportunity for input. So with that,
Move approval, Madam Mayor.
there's lots of, okay, with that, we have a motion on the table and a second. Please vote.
And if I could, I just want to thank the mayor for bringing this on the agenda. I think it reflects feedback that we've heard from the council, and I think this is a great way to start your term by making our meetings a little more accessible and a little more transparent. And so thank you for doing this, and it's a great step forward.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I thought you said after too. Okay.
After it's been moved and seconded, then we need the.
Okay, then, Madam Mayor, I will move to amend Rule 29 to add language to that amendment that any person wishing to speak to the council agenda shall sign up to speak with the city clerk by 5 p.m. on Sunday, preceding a regular council meeting, and direct the city attorney to draft such an amendment. So that would be part of my motion.
Yeah, of your motion, okay. So it was a sign up that I think had not been in.
I don't think it was in this.
And also to, and that was the one thing is, yeah, so we just need to get that clarified. That we are extending time to sign up, that was it, till 5 o'clock on Sunday, which it used to be on Tuesday before. Forgot to add that part.
That's on the website.
There is no, there's no language that the amendment would add, I'm sorry. The amendment would add a sign-up requirement as well, or a sign-up provision so that we know ahead of time who those people are.
But we've extended the time to Sunday for both.
Right.
Sign up for the consent agenda, whereas
Right.
there's no sign up. New sign up the other.
Right. So this will,
This is making and mirror them together. So.
correct.
That is
Okay.
correct.
Yes.
And someone seconded my motion.
Sunday
No, it's the 24 hours before.
The Sunday preceding our regular meeting.
So that people have
So
an
24
opportunity to
hours.
get the agenda
On Thursday.
on Thursday, and they have until Sunday to sign up to speak to, on the consent agenda now, and the non-items that are not on the agenda. At the end, the public speaking time. at
Public
the end,
speaking portion of it.
that we have always had people sign up before. Is that clear? Everybody good?
Does it not say that on there, Chris?
You can't sign up more than 10 days.
You can't sign up more than 10 days before.
Okay.
Laura, just correct. Okay.
As long as everybody's clear.
6 yes.
And that starts with our
Next meeting.
Next meeting.
Roman numeral item number 4, the recommendation of Mayor Bozen for, did we miss
Grade
3?
3.
You missed 3.
Yeah, I was going to say. Okay, go back to 3. Reappointment of the following.
You're out.
A is city manager, B is city attorney, C is city clerk, D is chief deputy city clerk and deputy city clerk, E is chief deputy city attorney and deputy city attorneys and assistant city attorneys.
I will move item 3A through E.
second.
There's a motion and a second. Please vote.
Six yes.
Roman numeral number 4, recommendation of Mayor Bozen for appointment of council member Carl Voss as mayor pro tem for the calendar year of 2024.
Move approval.
Please vote.
Do I need to recuse myself?
No, you can move.
No, you can support yourself.
6 yes.
Motion carries. Next item is the number 2 is approving the agenda as presented and/or as amended. And as of now, we have Councilmember Mandelbaum who wants to speak on 14. And item number 35 has been updated. It's going to be continued until January 22nd, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
Please vote.
6 yes.
Okay, number 3 is approving the consent agenda. Those are items 3 through 29. And these are routine items and will be enacted by one roll call vote without separate discussion unless pursuant to council rules. Council requests an item be removed or to be considered separately. Is there a motion to?
Move approval. Item 3.
Please vote. I think we're still,
Coleman.
Mr. Coleman?
6 yes.
Okay, motion carries. We'll move to the hearings. The first hearing is on vacation of an L-shaped alley, it's number 30, on a vacation of an L-shaped alley right-of-way located in the block bounded by Kirkwood Avenue to the north, Lacona Avenue to the south, and to Cortland Drive to the east, and conveyance to the various adjoining property owners. A is the first consideration of the ordinance above. We will allow 2 minutes per person to speak, up to 10 minutes maximum. Is anyone here to speak to this item? Hearing no one?
What do you say?
Yes. If you want to state your name and your address or your ward that you live in.
I own the property at 2400 Cortland. I'm Mark Davis. What else did you need?
That's it.
Good.
Okay. I just had a concern on that vacation because the alleyway adjoins a property of mine, and typically it's split 50-50 between the property owners, and in one, sorry, I'm nervous,
That's okay.
and in one spot it was not split 50-50.
Can
And I spoke with the city guy in charge of that.
Can I just ask which spot it was?
It's behind the gal that called you.
Okay.
And I spoke with,
I don't think the other people wanted to buy it,
the other people didn't want to buy it, so I'm getting the whole property along that portion of it,
but not the property that
but not the property that's hers. It wasn't split in two.
yeah,
That's typically the way it's done. I was just wondering why it wasn't done that way this time. I've spoken to David Kolvig many times regarding it, and it wasn't, he said it's done, there's nothing you can do about it but go to the city council meeting.
she wants to purchase this.
I also requested
something
the
that we
Mr.
purchase.
Davis, with all due respect, we've had this is the first time I met you. We probably wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for your property and all the stuff that you've kept on that alleyway for the many years. And
Well,
and
I put in a request
Okay,
2 years ago to have the alley vacated.
Hang on one second. And then the amount of grief that certain individual resident has taken, I've seen videos of it. She's had cameras from some of your tenants, not from you. I mean, we probably wouldn't even be having this hearing if that stuff didn't happen.
Well, she actually came to the planning and zoning and opposed the vacation of the alleyway.
No, maybe she didn't understand what she was getting.
She totally understood it.
Okay.
Okay,
My understanding, she wants to buy her portion of it to extend her backyard.
And I would like to buy my portion of that piece as well. I wanted to know why the city gave her the entire alleyway behind her property.
is this something that, do you feel that we need to continue, or do you want,
This is the first I've heard of it. It would have been
So-
nice if I would have got a
okay.
phone call. This has been going on for 6 months. I don't really feel like continuing this. I feel like moving this forward. I believe legals did their due diligence with this, and I'll move the first reading of it, and if we need to come back and change something, maybe the second reading, I won't waive the second and third reading this time, but I'll do the first reading.
Can I
Okay.
give you a call then later,
we
Joe?
will get back in touch with you on, we are going to move the first hearing, and then we'll get more.
Yeah, you can call
communications.
me anytime. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't hear from you over the last 6 months. I
Okay.
can tell you that.
Does anybody else want to speak to this item? So thank you for your comments.
Yeah, I
and we
appreciate
will
it.
do the first hearing, and then we will see if anyone else wants to comment.
I don't see anybody,
Yes.
so I'll move item 30 and 30A.
And I think that,
Chris seconded it.
okay, with that, please vote.
Six yes.
Okay, the motion carries for the first reading. Item 31, on vacation of approximately 180 feet of the north-south alley right-of-way extending south from Carpenter Avenue between 24th Street and 25th Street, and conveyance to Merge LLC for $23,200, and acceptance of a permanent easement for public ingress and egress. Item A, first consideration of the ordinance above. Again, 2 minutes per person to speak, 10 minutes maximum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this item? Seeing none, I will open it up for discussion.
I'll move 31.
Is there a second?
You want to waive the second and third reading?
I don't know a lot about the neighborhood, so I'd rather.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Six yes.
Motion carries. Item 32, on vacation of a dead-end section of alley right-of-way located in the block bounded by East Oak Park Avenue to the north and East Ovid Avenue to the south and York Street to the east, and conveyance to adjoining property owners. A is the first consideration of the ordinance above. Again, 2 minutes per person to speak, 10 minutes maximum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll open it up for discussion of the council. Is there anyone wishing to speak? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I will move item 32 to Rule 42, waive this.
Second.
Please vote.
Six yes.
Motion carries. Item 33, on release and replacement of a permanent underground electric line easement in the city property located at 1553 Maury Street to Mid-American Energy Company for the new city of Des Moines greenhouse facility. Again, 2 minutes per person to speak and 10 minutes maximum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this? If not, I'll open up for discussion.
I see none, Your Honor. I'll move 33.
Is there a second? Second. Please vote.
6 yes.
Motion carries. Number 34, on a request from the City of Des Moines to amend the Plan DSM, creating our tomorrow comprehensive plan to revise the future land use classification from low, medium density residential to public, semi-public, and to rezone multiple parcels located in the vicinity of 1907 Clark Street from NX1 Neighborhood Mixed District to P2 Public Civic Institutional District to allow the construction of a new fire station, the Des Moines Fire Department Station Number 4 building. A is the first consideration of the ordinance above, and B is the final consideration of the ordinance above. Waiver is requested by Ann Sobik. Munson City Architect requires 6 votes. Again, 2 minutes per person to speak, 20 minutes maximum. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this? Seeing none, I will open it up.
Mayor, I'm satisfied with the discussion we had last time about the authority we have to move forward, thanks to the city legal team and city manager. I'll move 34 and 34A and B.
Second.
There's the moved and seconded. Please vote.
6 yes.
Motion carries. Item 35, on a request from WCMRP Des Moines Center LLC, Michaela Scott, officer, for review and approval of a second amendment to the Southdale PUD conceptual plan located at 4900 Southeast 14th Street to allow the expansion of a retail use to include multiple outdoor storage and display areas, and continue to January 22nd, 2024, which I think.
Yeah, I think we had some weather issues. But I had a question about this because I thought we already went through this and we already approved them to put their sheds out there a few months ago. What? I guess I don't understand why we're seems like the same request. Okay, that's fine.
That's why it's being continued. So we
Yeah,
can get
I'll
those
move,
questions.
I'll move item 35 to continue until January 22nd, but I would like staff to come back and why that's different than the first one that we approved to have the outdoor sheds that they're selling. And then their site plan still needs to be back to where it originally was with trees and things. Nothing ever got planted there.
Okay,
And their
so-
footprint needs to go back to what the original site plan was. So if staff can get back to me on that, that would be wonderful.
Second.
I think it's been moved and seconded. Please
Thank
vote.
you.
6 yes.
Motion carries. Item 36 on 2024 Riverwalk improvements, paver replacement, resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract, documents, engineer's estimate, receive and file bids, and designating the lowest responsible bidder as Alpha Landscapes LLC, Riley Marvin owner, for the amount of $447,870. It's council communication number 24-008. A is the approval of the contract and the bond.
Move item 36.
Second.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
For an enhancement like this, was there consideration of using TIP funds for the downtown improvement? I mean, the blue letter, I think, says it's coming out of. I don't want to have a big budget discussion, but I'm just wondering, are we tapped out of downtown TIF, or are we?
No, and actually that's a great question. So I wonder if that could be amended to allow for that funding debate either for the city.
The best would be to amend to allow the manager to fund it as appropriate under budget.
I would
Yeah.
modify my motion to amend those lines to
I mean, wouldn't that
That's
be
okay,
more-
and I'll-
Wouldn't that be more appropriate to do? than
Ordinarily it is. There could be a reason why we didn't, but ordinarily that is.
Okay,
So I-
so is there a, did you second?
I can't.
Or somebody can second? Carl will second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please vote with the new motion.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Chris?
I'm sorry, I keep hitting it.
6
It's not
yes.
hard enough.
I think I reset it after you.
No
I'm
problem.
sorry.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Item number 37, on 2024 sewer repair contract, a resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, receive and file bids, and designating the lowest responsible bidder as Absolute Concrete Construction Incorporated, doing business as Absolute Group, Sunny Hall President, for $745,518.70. Council Communication Number 24-001. A is approval of the contract and the bond. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this? Seeing none, I'll open it up.
Move item 37 and 37A.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote. Mr. Coleman?
Jeez,
6
Some
yes.
things never change. It doesn't matter what side of the table.
I'm delicate, I guess.
Okay, on number 38, on Intelligent Transportation Systems Upgrade Phase 4, a resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, receive and file bids, and designate the lowest responsible bidder as Iowa Signal, Inc., Wayne Leslie, President, $991,856.24. It's Council Communication Number 24-002. A is approval of contract and bond. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this? If not, I'll open
See
it up.
none, Your Honor. There's no discussion. I'll move 38A.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
6 yes.
Motion carries. Item number 39, it's on the Walnut Street Bridge replacement over the Des Moines River. Resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract, documents, engineer's estimate, receive and file bids, and designate the lowest responsible bidder as Kramer and Associates Incorporated. Robert Kramer, President, CAO, $19,116,030.20. Council Communication Number 24-009. A is the approval of contract and bond. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this item, number 39? If not, I will open it up to the council.
I wasn't around for a lot of this discussion, but I'm supportive of this and appreciate the work that's gone into making sure that our roads are and bridges are safe. And I know it's a hefty investment, but one of those that we have to periodically make to keep our city strong.
Every 100 years.
Every 100 years.
We pretty much got them all fixed.
Okay.
I can move it.
I think he wants to say something.
Yeah,
Did you want to speak?
it's not my ward.
I
Speak to
did.
this item?
Yeah, so I've never been convinced that we need a complete replacement of a bridge here for auto traffic, and I would have been pleased if we had done this as a bike and pedestrian bridge or just no bridge. $19 million is a lot of money. We're going to have a tight budget going forward, and frankly, there are a lot of cities in the U.S. that don't have a bridge every block. So I'll be voting no on this item.
Mr. Manuel?
I mean, I agree with Councilmember Voss on this. I thought that this was an opportunity for us to revisit and to save dollars, particularly going into a tight budget. We know that the other bridges that we've replaced have literally thousands of extra capacity in terms of the number of vehicles that they can accommodate over the course of a day. And even at pre-pandemic highs, we were under 20,000 vehicle trips over the range of bridges that we've already fixed, with over 50,000 in vehicle trip capacity. So I think we could have saved dollars and done this project differently. I get that it is at this point, but I've not been supportive along the way, and I'm not supportive today. So Councilmember Coleman, you would be welcome to move this, even though it's not your ward, because I don't intend to move it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just make one comment. As somebody who lives east of the river, we have thousands of residents live in Ward 2 and Ward 4, need that bridge as a way to get on the west. I am very thankful that we are.
I'll move item 39,
I was
39A.
just going to comment
Oh,
on
go
it
ahead.
because when this issue did come up, the fact that whether it's a pedestrian bridge or whether it's a vehicle bridge, you have to fix the base, and the base is the greatest expense. With all the development we're going into the Market District and could be even further east, that's why I've supported reinvesting in this bridge and making it easier, no matter where you're at, to get from one side of town to the other. So I'm supportive of it. So it's been moved and seconded,
Second.
and please vote.
4 yes, 2 no, motion carries.
Thank you. This is the end of the hearing, so I got to put the time down at 5:28.
28.
Thank you. Yeah, or 14. Okay, now we'll go back to item number 14 that was pulled off consent. And this is approving Connie Bozen as the primary and Chris Coleman as the alternate members to the Des Moines Area Regional Transit, known as DART, Authority for the calendar year of 2024.
And I specifically wanted to move this. I've had the privilege of serving as this council's representative on DART for the last 4 years, and the 2 years prior to that, I was the alternate. And I wanted to just share a few thoughts in terms of the role of transit and some of my thoughts in terms of as we have new representatives, things that I hope to see out of our representatives on DART. Part of this is because I think public transit's one of the most important things that we do. I don't think that we can be the type of community that we want to be, the community of choice, sustainable community, an economically competitive community, or an equitable community without a strong transit system. And the folks who are serving in the commission role and the alternate role have a really important role to play there. And that's actually one of the most important things is I hope the folks who are serving in that capacity recognize the importance of this service, particularly to some of our most vulnerable residents. I was recently at the public hearings, and one of the things that struck me in particular, and I learned something new at almost every one of those public input sessions that I attended, whether it be the fact that people who lose their vision in this state come from all over the state to get trained here, partly because of the accessibility and partly because of our transit system. I heard from folks in terms of the challenges that folks coming to this country, whether they are refugees or immigrants from a variety of circumstances, the importance of this service, having them able to acclimate and integrate and be successful in our community. DART is frequently a lifeline to folks who are immigrating and folks who are refugees coming here. We can't be a welcoming community without that service. And then I think also about one of the actions that this council just took at the tail end of last year, which was our climate action plan. And that plan will not be successful, and that plan actually called for more transit investment and more. We need to do more from a transit perspective if we are going to be successful in implementing our climate action plan. And so I hope all of those things are kept in mind by the folks who are serving. I also think from one of the challenges that we've had, I think we need a more engaged Des Moines. When I started off on DART as an alternate, I attended the commission meetings because I thought it was beneficial and I was trying to learn. But one of the things that I think has been clear to me as we've navigated and struggled sometimes to navigate issues with DART is that the city of Des Moines would benefit from both a strong representative and a strong alternate. And I'm glad that the mayor is serving as our representative. I think that adds stature and is important in terms of speaking for the community to have particularly the new mayor show that it's a priority by serving. But I hope, Councilmember Coleman, that you are an active alternate and that you attend as alternate even if you're not going to be the one participating in the meetings. I think the whole council benefits from having more than one person be part of those discussions and understand what's going on, because I think it's an important issue, and I think some of the challenges we're having today maybe would have been smoothed out if we had two people at more of those meetings. And then I also think we need to be solution focused. And I think there are a variety of paths forward, and we should be open to as many of them as possible, and we should give ourselves the maximum flexibility to improve this service, to strengthen this service, to problem solve around this service. And I know I'm saying this in the context of a funding discussion, and I don't know if we'll have a future public debate on this, but I want to be transparent to folks that I do support the full franchise fee, the full 2.5 cents. I think that in terms of the feedback that I've heard from others on the council.
I think that that's one thing. We will be having discussions. In fact, we're doing it this week with DART, so we will be having those discussions. So I think that going forward, too, everybody is very aware of the issues of the DART.
But I've got
We all attended the
just
public meetings.
I've just got a couple other things that I'd like to say, and regardless of that 2.5 cent piece. One of the other pieces, and I support that piece, but one of the other pieces, and I know, Mayor, we've talked a bit about this, is thinking about how we do things differently. One of the important things in our role is I think we should always be looking at how we can improve service and think about how we do things better. And I'm hopeful we'll have an opportunity to do that with conversations at the commission level, thinking about how we redesign service. And there are a lot of different pieces, whether it be we need to think about more crosstown routes instead of our hub and spoke system, and how do we transition there? Do we need mobility hubs where DART plays a critical role, but it's more than just transit. It might be bike share or scooter share or on demand, a range of things that DART helps facilitate. And I think those questions are important questions, and there will be an opportunity going forward. And to that end, I actually have a small gift for both you and Councilmember Coleman. It's something that's helped me in my time on DART, but I wanted to share. I got each of you a copy of Human Transit, which I find to be a great book on transit. It's helped me think through these issues. I've got my highlighted copy at home that I frequently reference, and I hope it'll be useful to you both in your new role. And I also wanted to say that, even though I'm not the DART Commission member anymore, I remain committed to helping create a strong transit system. And now that role includes helping support the two of you in your new role, and I'll do whatever I can to help create a strong transit system in this community and help make the two of you successful representatives of Dart. So thank you for.
Thank you. And I think that's what's one thing important on these appointments. I believed it was important that I get involved, so I get to learn it. And we will be finding going forward some boards and commissions that we are on, we don't necessarily always rotate. And I think there's some changes in a year because people are in leadership roles, and once they get off, that I think it's important that we do switch out so that we get a better understanding of the different boards and commissions. Because if you're on it the whole time and you're the only one on it, sometimes you don't get the full perspective. So you will see changes coming up for others when their leadership role is done and some of the other boards and commissions, so that we can start circulating, if you've been on the, as a council person for a long time, just to be on the same one. So I just want to know that that's one reason I'm submitting, because I want to understand the DART. We're already starting these discussions. We are having more discussions. So I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate the book that we can read. And I know that Councilman Coleman has been on before in the period of time, but I think everybody wants to help people and make it a more efficient system and help the people that we are serving. So with that, is there a...
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Thank you for the book. I did meet with Dart, and Josh was kind to go with me, and probably took too much of his morning. He didn't bank on a 2 or 3 hour meeting, but we had a good discussion. I know we won't agree on everything, but your challenge is accepted. I mean, I know the people of Des Moines and the Metro need a strong public transportation. My view of the franchise fee is a little bit different, and that is that I think we lose our leverage to initiate innovation when we choose to fund a system that was really designed decades ago. And I just think I think we're at the point where everybody has agreed. And I know this language sounds harsh, but we just all referenced the public meetings that happened. And the public meetings happened because we had to kind of say to each other, DART's future is broken. We got to rethink it, refund it, find a different way of doing it. And so my goal is, how do we make sure that we're making the right decisions today so that we ensure a more innovative and compassionate DART? I don't mean to be critical of the current DART, but I do think DART, and this is my last comment, DART has been driven to create one solution for two entirely different populations and issues. One is the commuter group, that for a long time Des Moines had a vested interest in funding at a high level because we had no parking for 70,000 and then 80,000 people that came downtown. That situation is a little bit different. And it's a little harder to ask the citizens of Des Moines to subsidize transit rides for people that are making a really good living. But we've designed the system, the hub and spoke system that you referred to, Josh, around making sure that commuter work, was efficient. And we ask all the poor, vulnerable, disabled, elderly to find a way to fit into that system that we built for a different purpose. And my role at DART, I think you'll see, is I'm interested in flipping that so that the first system is designed around the poor, the vulnerable, the disabled, those that most need government on their side. That's where our subsidy should go. And it shouldn't be subsidy from just the taxpayers of Des Moines, but from the Metro, because they ask us to regionalize the services to that very population, and we all need to be involved. And so my goal is that we make sure that first and foremost we're taking care of the vulnerable, and that we have a system designed and services available that we're a very livable place for them. And I'd probably create less of a priority, because we can't afford everything, on the commuter work. And that's what DART's presented to us and said, if you want to go a little bit lower on the commuter work, don't raise the franchise fee. And that's probably where I am right now. But we still have that as a tool in the future for innovative services.
Okay. Is there a
And we'll
motion?
keep this up. We'll keep
Okay,
this up.
we can have more discussion on this item. Actually, tonight, we're asking about the appointment. So is there a motion to approve?
I did move up, but I'll
Is
move
there
it
a
again to be clear.
Okay,
Thank you for the book.
please vote. Good discussion.
Josh, share with us the name of the book.
6 yes.
Human Transit, so,
Transit.
by Jarrett Walker.
Motion carries.
And I got this, apparently there's a 10th anniversary edition that's going to have some supplements, but I
Okay.
couldn't
well,
wait
thank you.
for that. For the meeting.
Couldn't wait. So next item is, we're going back to the ordinances. For first consideration is item 40, amending chapters 26 and 46 of the Municipal Code to adopt the 2021 editions of the International Building Code, International Residential Code, International Existing Building Code, and the International Fire Code. Council Communication Number 24-14. A is amending Chapter 26 of the Municipal Code relating to the buildings and building regulations. And B, amending Chapter 46 of the Municipal Code relating to fire prevention and protection. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this? If not,
See none, Your Honor.
Well, I'd like to just talk on this piece. And I want to move this, but I was hoping that council would be amenable to giving staff a little direction to come back with us on something. One of the things that we see in the way our housing is currently structured, these codes kind of dictate a piece of that. And there's something called point access blocks that has been, it provides, I think, a little more flexibility in the codes, and it's the way most of the rest of the world builds. A lot of our housing, particularly the multifamily, the need for 2 access points and 2 stairwells impacts a lot of the cost and the way things are designed. There are a couple communities in this country that have provided more flexibility and that provide that point access up to 6 stories. And since we're amending or adopting the building code, this is kind of where that discussion fits in. And I was hoping that, I'm happy to move item 40, but I was hoping that the council would be willing to ask staff to
look into.
take a look at what it would look like if, and evaluate and come back with a recommendation for council's consideration on what that might look like in Des Moines, and if that makes sense.
And how it fits in with the codes.
Right. So
Are you moving it?
Moving with that.
With that recommendation?
moving moving item 40 A and B with that direction for staff to
This
look at that.
Okay,
this is only the
it's-
first consideration,
Right.
so they'll come back before our next reading.
It would not.
Go ahead.
I don't need it to be before the next reading, and I'm
Just-
even willing to waive the second and third reading, just as long as we can have that
Okay,
discussion.
is that,
Yes, that's
okay,
that's
it's
doable.
clear. Okay, it's doable. Okay, it's been moved
Did you
and
move
seconded.
did you waive the second and third?
I did. I didn't reference 42A. If you need me to officially reference 42A,
Absolutely.
I will reference item 42A.
What we're doing is to approve to do those amending chapter
Right.
26, 46. If we're approving that tonight, then would we come back with another change for the access block?
Right,
Correct.
yes,
You have a workshop or something?
For
about that.
It
a
might take
discussion like
2
a work session.
conversations.
right,
I just
so,
wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be included with.
Right. I think it would require more discussion and some stakeholder
Right.
involvement, but this just
understand it all
starts the
and how it
process.
implications.
Yep.
Okay, with that, it's been moved and seconded.
I don't know if you got a second, did you?
Chris
Chris,
I think
Coleman, second.
Chris seconded.
Yeah.
Yes, please vote.
6 yes.
Motion carries. I guess that is the end of our regular meeting, so we will move on to our request to speak. The first person is Adam Callanan.
Hello, my name is Adam Callanan. I live in Ward 3. I'm here to, again, insist that we need virtual access to meetings. Accessibility issues with building access prevent people from coming to these meetings to speak. People with children sometimes have a hard time finding daycare or finding any sort of childcare to come speak at meetings. Also, right now, we're actively in a snowstorm that's starting. Also prevents people from coming to these meetings. I'm glad to see a lot of the changes that were made today to make meetings more accessible. But as long as we're leaving out some populations of people, I still don't think that the city's meeting the needs of the people. I think the city works best when more residents are heard. In terms of DART, also speaking in favor of the franchise fee, funding DART, we're investing more in car bridges. We just invested more in building or replacing another bridge where we have a bridge every block for cars downtown. We're investing more in police. We have a $56 million police building that was recently purchased. I really don't think subsidizing a little bit, 2.5 cent fee, I believe, is a full fee being asked for. I don't think that is at all unreasonable. I think we need to invest more in DART beyond that, but this is what they need right now. And I'm glad to see more commitment from council members in engaging with DART. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Lou Hallmeyer. Is Lou here? I know that the next speaker had called in and would not be here. Tanja Garrison.
Tanja Garrison, 2245 West Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa. I had some stuff written down, but I'm just going to talk off the top of my head or whatever. I'm probably the highest paying taxpayer here. I pay 12% in taxes. I came here repeatedly to talk about police, officers, corruption, and federal protection, yet nothing has happened. I'm thinking by now, somebody should have called somebody or did something and nothing is happening. I have kids to worry about. Their safety comes first. Y'all are not helping the situation. And I make a lot of money. And I shouldn't have to sit here and go on and over about who I am and what I've done and Ivy League and this, that, and another, because my portfolio speaks for itself, especially by me being a state employee. And I'm pretty sure half of y'all, and some of the people in here are workers or used to work for Nationwide Insurance, and they know exactly who I am. And y'all know that I'm the coroner for the state of Iowa, and I also work at Methodist, and I own Nationwide Insurance. And I would appreciate if somebody does their job, says something, do something, because I'm just sitting here wasting time and wasting away, and my daughter don't deserve it, I don't deserve it, and something needs to happen. And I know I have authority. I have a lot of authority. I endorse a lot of your programs, a lot of your, whatever you're trying to do, okay? I'm the E-Block grant. I mean, that's how much money I make. I'm pretty sure some of y'all know that Nationwide Insurance comes up on certain programs, whether it's orchestra, plays, et cetera, commercials. I mean, if you look my name up, I've done interviews. I mean, I don't know what more to tell y'all. I'm not being taken serious, and I don't like it. It's just simple as that. And I come in here with a doctorate, so I'm a doctor. Dr. PhD, surgeon from Johns Hopkins, valedictorian, from all 3 Ivy League schools.
Okay. Thank you, Tanja.
Thank you.
Harvey Harrison.
Thank you. My name's Harvey Harrison. I live in Ward 3. On behalf of Just Voices in Iowa, CCI, I take this opportunity to thank the council for spending over $330,000 on 2 excellent reports from Public Works LLC and 21 CP Solutions. These reports contain 69 actionable specific recommendations that the city can take to end racially biased policing in Des Moines. Recommendations that support and enhance what we have been demanding from you for over 7 years now, the tag. It is probably optimistic on my part to assume that all of you sitting here have read both of those reports in their entirety. In its report, 21 CP Solutions points out that if you do follow their recommendations, this city has the capacity to become leaders in local and national policing. This is also a message that we have been delivering to you for the past 7 years. The 21 CP Solutions and recommendations include the adoption of the Public Works recommendations on data collection, analysis, and publication, creation of a community review board, not advisory board, a charge to police department leadership to re-engage with community members such as CCI and Just Voices, the importance of an after-action review for incidents such as 2020 protests and claims of sexual harassment, implementing true community policing, and much, much more. Our charge to you, and this is simple, formulate and publish your plan for implementing all of the recommendations contained in these reports. Widely publicize the findings and recommendations contained in the reports. And most important, include broad community engagement in the process of implementing these recommendations, and do this now. Thank you.
Thank you. John Noble.
Hello. Happy New Year, Council. I know many people often make New Year's resolutions at the beginning of a new year, so I thought maybe I would suggest some for each of you, or a few of you today. Mayor Bozing, congratulations. I thought maybe a resolution for you could be to not spend $56 million on a new police station while bus lines face 40% cuts to funding. Linda Westergaard, maybe a resolution for you would be to not be featured on a national Twitter account as you bend over backwards to appease landlords' bottom line when we're talking about taking lead pipes out of buildings. Several council members, including my own, Chris Coleman, maybe a good resolution would be to admit that DMPD does have a problem with racial profiling, which you couldn't say at a CCI forum. Chris Coleman, maybe another resolution for you would be to admit that DART and public transportation is a public good. It's not for some people over here. We don't shuffle people off to a certain bus line. Public transportation is for everyone. I think the DART bus often says the bus is for all of us. Josh, I'm really hoping you'll push for a little more than cosmetic dressing on the speaker policy, as much as I am glad we can sign up a little more. Basically, what I'm hoping is that this new year will not just involve the council doing what it does for police and property developers, so we don't see a consistent through line from the county years to the Bozen years. A new year is a chance to do something new and something different, and I hope we will.
Gary Gosnell. Gary? Sorry, probably didn't. He couldn't hear.
Carrie Gosnell, she, her, and I live in Ward 3. For 7 years, the activist community has worked to reduce racial profiling by the Des Moines Police Department. Yet it wasn't until 2020, after weeks of protests, that the city finally adopted some of the items we proposed in a racial profiling ordinance. Since then, Iowa CCI, Just Voices, and DSM Surge have been working with the City Council to fill those gaps. Because of our persistence, the city hired 2 consulting groups to review the police department's policies and culture. The reports affirmed our demands for improved data collection, data analysis, communication, and transparency. I want to highlight 21 CP Recommendation 6, that, quote, efforts should be made by DMPD leadership to re-engage community members. And Recommendation 35, that DMPD and Chief Wingert should, quote, develop a good working relationship with community groups that help prompt this assessment. Let me be clear, you cannot implement these recommendations in isolation or behind closed doors without us, the community. Both reports also recommend the formation of a community stakeholder committee. We need a community review board as soon as possible to help monitor the implementation of the consultant recommendations and rebuild trust within our community. Scott, thank you for meeting with the racial justice team in December. For full transparency, I'm going to share with the community what you agreed to regarding the CRB. We will have 2 consultant bids by the end of January. A consultant will be chosen by the end of February. The CRB draft Iowa CCI wrote will be a basis for the consultant to work from, and the CRB will be implemented by the end of the year. 2024 is a year of completion on this, and we are holding you all responsible for prioritizing this work and getting this done. 7 years is far too long. The time is now.
Thank you. Josie Mulvihill? Is Josie here? Is Josie? Okay. And then I think the last speaker was going to have somebody speak for them from LSI. I believe you're for Thomas Babucci.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Sarah Hilgenberg, and I am the Refugee Education Coordinator at Lutheran Services in Iowa Immigrant and Refugee Community Services. And I thank you for your time and for your service. So I am a stand-in. I had very little time to prepare. Our client is Thomas. He was unable to be here. The purpose of him coming was just to advocate for not reducing services for DART. So that's the purpose of me being here today, is to visit with you just about that for just a little bit. So my job at LSI incorporates coordinating all classes across all of our programs. We have citizenship, we have English classes, we have community integration, digital literacy, and even some more new classes we're excited to be coming up with this spring. So truly, I just wanted to share and advocate for the keeping of the current bus services as they are, and share that it truly will have a great impact on the clients that we serve each and every day if there are less routes and times available. Day in and day out, we operate anywhere from 6 to 7 classes, and on average, that might bring to our campuses, or our campus, our 3 buildings, anywhere from 135 to 130 students. And these are students who are largely, coming to our country to begin a new life from having to have fled their own. The DART bus system as it exists currently is an essential piece to our clients assimilating successfully into our community. It is relied upon for school, for children, for youth, and for adults. It is relied upon for work, for doctor's appointments, for grocery shopping. A significant reduction in these services, or what we consider to be a significant reduction in these services that already exist, will directly impact our clients. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to receive and file 41A through K.
Is there a second? The motion has been moved and seconded. Please vote. Mr. Coleman? Get it harder.
6 yes.
Okay, the motion carries. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and hopefully encourage everybody to drive safely, and to also, if it snows as much as they say, please understand the rules and help our public works get your cars off the street so they can plow even easier. So again, thank you for coming, and I look forward to the new year of 2024.